Let's first talk about the Israel-Hamas war. Well, Israel has ordered new evacuations in Gaza's southern city of Rafah as it prepares to expand its operation, saying it is moving into an area in northern Gaza where Hamas has regrouped. Fighting is escalating across the enclave with heavy clashes between Israeli troops and Hamas militants on the outskirts of Rafah, leaving the crucial nearby aid crossings inaccessible and forcing more than 110,000 people to flee north. Now, Israel's move into Rafah has so far been short of full-scale invasion that it has planned. Now, this comes as 4 Israeli soldiers have been killed and several others have been wounded as fierce battles rage on across the Gaza Strip. The Israeli army says the soldiers were killed when an explosive device went off near a school in the Gaza city. An officer and another soldier from the same battalion were seriously wounded in the explosion. The IDF says it is still unclear whether the incident occurred in a booby-trapped house or as the soldiers were passing through a city street. The fight back from Hamas comes as Israeli troops are pushing further into Rafah in the southern Gaza area as its tanks split the city in two and encircled the eastern half. On the other hand, Hamas militants have fired a salvo of rockets at the southern city of Beersheba for the first time since December, lightly injuring a woman. Hamas's armed wing, claiming the attack, says it targeted the city with a missile barrage in response to massacres against civilians in Gaza. Now, according to Israel, though, 5 rockets were launched towards the city in total. 1 was intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system, and most fell in open areas. While in Jerusalem, the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees is closing its Jerusalem compound after Israeli protesters twice set fire to its perimeter. According to the Commissioner General of UNRWA, the staff had to put the fires out themselves because firefighters and police were slow to arrive at the headquarters. No one was injured in the arson attack. While in central Gaza's Nuseirat camp, rescue workers and civilians searched frantically for victims after a strike reduced a home to rubble and caused severe damage. And in southern Gaza's Rafah, Palestinians fear a famine worse than in the north. Amid the ongoing Israeli assault on the city and after the army seized the Rafah crossing into Egypt from Hamas militants, the closure of the border has raised new concerns about aid delivery into Gaza, where the United Nations has warned of famine risks.
The situation in Rafah is on a knife's edge as airstrikes continue throughout southern Gaza. Over 1 million Palestinians, half of whom are children, have crowded in the Rafah governorate for shelter. We are actively engaged with all involved for the resumption of the entry of life-saving supplies, including desperately needed fuel, through Rafah and Kerem Shalom crossings.
On the diplomacy front, though, a Hamas official has said efforts to forge a hostage release and truce in the 7-month war has come back to square one after Israel effectively rejected a proposal by the international mediator. The US, which is a longtime ally of Israel, believes remaining gaps can be surmounted as in-person talks on a Gaza ceasefire for hostages agreement has concluded for now with no deal. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.